is Allison, and this is my mom, Melanie. Together, we are going to be bringing you a series of web videos talking about some of the traditional food that we have had and enjoyed here throughout Anoka County's history. And all of these recipes will be brought to you from cookbooks that have been donated to the Historical Society by you. So thank you. Without your contributions to the Historical Society, none of this project would be possible. Now, Melanie here is going to introduce you our first recipe and a little bit of history about that first cookbook.
The first recipe we're going to do is Hot Holiday with Sal. It's from the 90th anniversary edition for Anoka Covenant Church, which was done in 1973. So look forward to that in our first video of the holiday special. Our other web videos will begin in February. We have eight sections for you to view, and all the recipes really come from you. But we better get busy. Our cups are empty, and so is our goodie tray.
So now we are going to step out of the museum and into the kitchen. See you there.
Okay, today we're going to make wassail. Wassail is from old England, and I mean old, way back into the 800s. We have water, apple cider, orange juice, lemon juice, sugar, and some spices. Originally, wassail meant good health. And as people, first person at a banquet to drink would hold up the cup, wassail, and the other responding person would say, drink here. So what we're doing is adding all our ingredients into the kettle. We substituted a couple whole spices for ground spices. So we're going to put those in cheesecloth, and we're just going to put it on the stove to simmer. The recipe says to boil for 10 minutes and make sure to serve it hot.
All right, Mom, so what are we making next?
Well, I think you're hardly going to believe this, but we're going to make Velveeta fudge.
All right, Velveeta fudge.
Velveeta fudge.
Why Velveeta fudge?
Well, I think as foods became more and more processed, those companies tried to think of everything under the sun that you could make with them.
That's a good point. You know, it actually was a fashionable thing to have as many processed foods on a dinner table as you possibly could whenever you hosted. So maybe that's the source of this recipe.
Could be, because we have Velveeta and margarine. Both items are processed foods. However, it's got to be from about maybe the mid to late 70s, because it suggests we can use the microwave.
The microwave.
We're going to make it fast in the microwave.
So we're not anymore tied up to the stove and stirring our chocolate for hours. We can just pop it in the microwave?
Yep, I can remember my mom stirring fudge for eons, and then she'd put it in the sink to cool it, and she would whip it and whip it and whip it.
All right, so
let's do it fast and easy.
Let's get started. What's the first step?
Let's put the Velveeta and the margarine into the microwave, and we're gonna melt it in the microwave. We'll stir it every 1 to 2 minutes until it's blended in. And you do want to be careful when you're doing that, because I don't think burnt Velveeta is going to be a good thing.
All right, let's get it in there and see what happens. So while she's busy microwaving the margarine and Velveeta, we are going to mix our dry ingredients. So I have here 1 bag of powdered sugar, that's 2 pounds of powdered sugar, and I have 3/4 cups of our cocoa powder. So I'm just going to add this in here carefully, and we're just going to slowly stir this together. That way when we add our microwave melted ingredients, we won't end up with a clumpy mess of chocolate and sugar. It'll all be fully incorporated.
Okay, now that we have our melted Velveeta and margarine, we're going to add in our vanilla. That way we have our wet ingredients all together. We'll just stir that in. Now Allison has put a well into the center of the bowl. And that is where we are going to put our fabulous Velveeta mixture.
All right.
And here you go, passing the wand to you.
Okay, so we're just going to pour this in here into our gorgeous well, and we will mix that together. We'll just scrape this on out of there. That looks good so far, I think. All right. So now we're just going to mix this together, and the recipe calls for us to put it into a jelly roll pan. We don't quite have a jelly roll pan that works, so we're going to substitute a glass 9x13 pan instead. So we will see you in a little bit.
Okay, now that we have our Velveeta fudge all in our dish that we're gonna store it in, not really store it in, but I lined it with tin foil for easy removal. We're just gonna put it in the fridge, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's better than you think. Okay, now we're going to take a look into sugar and spice cookies. If we go way back when again, sugar and spices were extremely expensive. So after harvest, people would sell off some of their harvest produce and earn extra money. They would splurge on some spices and sugar. They made cookies because it made more pieces to share, and always would have some available at the holidays. And this was what they would give their guests. So today we have it pretty good. We don't have to worry about sugar or our spices being crazy expensive, but we still do like the tradition of making cookies for the holidays. First step is to cream together the shortening and sugar until it's fluffy. Okay, now that we've blended the margarine and sugar together, the next two ingredients are 1 egg and 1/4 cup of molasses. And then we're going to blend that together well also. Now we've sifted together all of our dry ingredients, and we're going to slowly add that in here. I will put some in, let it mix, and put some in, let it mix, stirring it, make sure everything gets in there and incorporated. Okay, now that our cookie dough is mixed, I'm going to take about a teaspoon size of cookie dough, roll it into a ball, dip it into cinnamon sugar, put it on the pan about 2 inches apart. We're going to bake it for 10 minutes at 375. Well, now that we've finished our treats, this cookie, sugar and spice and everything nice, is this cookie. It is delicious. All the warmth of the holidays right there. Brings me back to the time when you guys were little and we'd roll out gingerbread men. And it was
For good times.
Good times, and the smell of this cookie brought you right back there.
Definitely brings you back there for sure. And I have to tell you that this fudge, Velveeta fudge, altered forever the way I'm going to be making fudge. It is creamy, smooth, delicious, easy. Let me tell you, it took like 15 minutes to put it together. It hardened up in the fridge in no time.
It's delicious. What a surprise. Who knew?
We will be making that again for sure.
And then we've got our wassail.
And one thing you can do too, if you want to spice up your wassail, add some brandy, add some rum, whatever, floats your boat. It is good.
It is delicious. So we just are making a toast. How did the word toast, how did that ever come around?
Toasting. Now, in the history of wassail, they used to put pieces of bread in the punch bowl as just a floating additive. They'd have it out of there every once in a while as they were consuming the punch. So when you raised your glass, you were raising, quite literally, a toast. So now we have to raise a toast to the Anoka County Historical Society and the residents of Anoka County who have taken the time to donate the recipe books from their community organizations and churches so that we could prepare some of these for you. We have a lot of other really great recipes that we're looking forward to sharing on our next cooking adventure. So keep an eye on the interwebs. If you want to find out the entirety of the recipes that we've made here today, please go to anokacountyhistory.org, and we will also include a link above. Thank you, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.